Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So last week we finished Sakkari Chanda, that means 14 syllable verses. So last verse was Vasanta Tilaka, right? Vasanta Tilaka. So today we have to go to Ati Sakkari, 15 syllable verses. So do you have any questions from the previous discussion?
So Bande,
Yes.
actually I have a question. It's not concerning with the previous lecture. It's concerning about the Myanmar in the Vuttodaya part. Regarding
Yes.
how they count the verse number there is different from what we have this now. You see, like in the like 12 syllables, they start from the maybe it's better I share my screen because the number is not correct. Okay, I will share my screen. So Bandi, can you see?
Yes, yes, I can see. You can see.
Yeah, so like you said, this upatita here. Okay, no, not here. In the 11th, okay, the upatita, as you already said, is belong to the 10th syllable. Even according to the Pāḷi text, we can see 62. Right? The upatita that belong to the 10 syllables.
Yes.
So this 11 syllables here will be started from the Inda Vajira.
Yes. Yes.
But after that, so here we should stop like this part. They all belong to 11 syllables.
Yes.
So this part should be belong to 12 syllables. So why do they write this long point in the between these 12 syllables? This is not only happen here because you see next one also. Actually, this one should be belong to the 13 syllables. But they wrote between this. And this one also, actually, this should be belong to 14th. So I don't know what is the reason for that.
This should be a mistake, I think, because in the book we referred this is not these things were mentioned. I think this is a mistake.
So if it's a mistake, it's every part of the Sedonong Salalong is all mistakes.
Every part or a few parts, right?
No, since from the 11th syllable in that part onwards.
From the 11th syllable.
Yeah, after this. And you see the...
No, 11th one is according to Myanmar text, and according to the Roman text we are referring. That last verse of 10 syllable verses.
Upatita.
Yes, Upatita. So Upatita belongs to here. Upatita belongs to 10 syllable verses in Myanmar text also.
Yes, here.
Yeah, you see. Yes, 10 syllable verses.
Yeah.
So
okay. Yeah. Here we start from the
11. Yes.
Okay, here start from 11. Yes. But after that, so here in this part should be already finished 11 syllables.
Yes.
12 syllables should be start from here.
Start from
one dadi.
Yes.
But even according to now it's 73, right? Even according to the normalized here, we start from here. We stop from here, and next is come to this part, and we should stop here
Yes.
in the 12. But you check this one. This one should be belong 12, and this part should be belong to the 13 syllables. But they write this donglong or selalong is between this words.
Yeah, that
So
is actually wrong. It is wrong. I don't know. It is a mistake or what. It is wrong because you see in this text also we can clearly see that the name of the chanda is usually at the end, right? It is mentioned at the end. So here Jagati,
here Jagati is here should be finished.
Yes, here it finishes and then it starts the next chanda. So this is the first verse of the next chanda. So this topic, the Myanmar topic, is like displaced. That is what has happened. Myanmar topic is in the wrong place in this book.
So this only in this book, no?
Only in this book, yeah. In the book we refer to, it was not like this.
Yeah. I thought that this is maybe it's a Myanmar writing style. I don't know.
No. Actually, when you asked from me about Myanmar, when I searched in the internet and I saw this book, but I did not send you because I was not sure about this book, the like meanings and all. I wasn't sure. That's why I did not send you. So the book we are referring to was not there in internet.
Okay. Thank you, Pandit.
Okay, so here starts Atisakkari. Atisakkari is 15 syllable verses. So there is a pattern of naming these like pattern of generic names, right? So we can see in 12 syllable verses it was Jagati, right? 12 syllable verses are named as Jagati, and then 13 syllable verses. 13 syllable verses are named as Ati Jagati. 12 Jagati, then 13 Ati Jagati. You see, 13 syllable verses are named as Ati Jagati. So name is quite similar. Jagati and Ati Jagati. Then 14 syllable verses are called as Sakkari, right? Sakkari. 14 Sakkari. Then 15 Ati Sakkari. So this pattern continues. This pattern continues in the upcoming verses also. Like this pattern will be there. Atti and Achatti, Dhuti, Ati Dhuti, like that. This pattern will be there. So it is easy to like remember the names by noting that pattern. So here it is Atisakkari. Atisakkari. First verse of Atisakkari is Sasikala. Sasikala. Dvihata haya lahu ratha giti Sasikala. Dvihata haya lahu ratha giti Sasikala. Meaning, rough meaning is 2 times 7 light syllables, then a heavy syllable, such is Sasikala. So Dvi is 2, Hatha means multiplied. Hatha means multiply. So Dvihata means multiplied by 2. Multiplied by 2. Higher means 7 because higher is another word for assa, horse. Higher is a synonym for assa, horse. So Sun's chariot is pulled by 7 horses. Because of that, higher here stands for number 7. So higher, Dvihata higher means 7 multiplied by 2. That means 14, right? 14. Then 14. What like there should be 14 lahu. Dvihata higher lahu. There should be 14 lahu. Ratha. This should be disjoined as Dvihata higher lahu atha. This R is a euphonic consonant. It is inserted. It doesn't have any meaning. It is inserted. Atha. Then after that, after those 14 light syllables, giti, ga iti, or go iti. Garu is there. After 14 light syllables, one heavy syllable is there. Iti, this verse is called as Sasikala. So 14 light syllables and then a heavy syllable at the end is called as Sasikala. So you can observe here all are light syllables at the end. Heavy syllable is there. So example is taken from Vuttodaya Tika. Ati ruchira sikara samasiddha dasa nang. So ati ruchira sikara samasiddha dasa na. Until here, all are light syllables, 14 light syllables, and then nang is a heavy syllable. This is the Padanta Garu. Originally, it is a heavy syllable. So this is the example for Sasikala verse. Are there any questions? No, right? Then we are going to the next verse. It is Maniguna Nikara. Maniguna Nikara. Vasuhaya Yati Ridha Maniguna Nikaro. Vasuhaya Yati Ridha Maniguna Nikaro. Maniguna Nikara is the name of the verse. Vasu. Vasu stands for 8 because Vasu is a class of Devas, and in that class there are 8 Devas. So Vasu stands for number 8. Haya. Haya means 7, right? Haya means 7 because there are 7 horses. So Vasu Haya Yati means there is word break after 8 syllables and then again word break after 7 syllables. Here also R is euphonic, it is inserted, and then either here if there are word breaks after 8 and 7, then that is called as Maniguna Nikara. So here idha refers to previous verse, which is Sasikala, right? Either in this Sasikala verse, if there are word breaks, then that is called as Maniguna Nikara. So that is it. So in this meaning, that referring is not done. Referring to the Sasikala is not there. In this case, Maniguna Nikara is the same but has a word break after 8 and 7 syllables. In this case only these terms are there. So according to Myanmar Nisaya, here it refers to the previous verse, because you see in this verse rules about groups are not shown, right? Group order is not shown. So only word break is shown. Only Yati is shown. That means all other rules are same as previous verse. Only difference is that in this verse there are word breaks after 8 and 7. So Vasu Haya Yati Ridha, here ends 8 syllables. So here is the first word break, comma is put here, and then Mani Guna Nikaro, here ends other 7 syllables. The second word break is here. So this is Maniguna Nikara verse. Example is from Mahapanama Patha. Vinayana Yamanaya Vinayana Namitang. So after 8 syllables here, Vinayana Yamanaya, after syllables word break is there, and then after 7 more syllables word break is there at the end of the line. So this is an example for Maniguna Nikara verse. Are there any questions?
Yeah, hi Bante.
Yes.
I just want to try to understand the verse in the prose form, and then so
Yes.
let's see if we remove the euphonic R, then how should we rewrite that verse in prose form, Bante?
Idha Vasu Haya Yati Che Hoti Atha Maniguna Nikaro Nama.
So do we have to because like we have the two word breaks here. Do we have to make the yati plural, Bande?
I don't feel so. We can keep it in singular also. I feel like here there is word break. There is word break after Vasu and after Haya.
So does that mean that there should be there are word breaks after? Bande? So
There
we
are
have
word
two word
breaks.
breaks, right? So should it be like yati, but because we put the euphonic R in there, so we make it short.
Yeah. We can consider in that way also.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Bante.
Okay. Or otherwise, we can consider this as Tadhita also. Vasu Haya Yati Yassati Vasu Haya Yati. Then it is singular, right?
Yes, I see.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
thank you.
still there will be a problem, because if so, even if we consider this as Tadhita, still it will be long, right? Because it is like Dandi, Dando, Sathiri, Dandi. So it will be still long.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we can consider it. If we consider this as plural, then we should then the shortening should be done. Okay, then let's move to the next verse. Malini. We finished 2 verses in Ati Sakkari. Malini. Na ma ya yutayang. Malini bhogi sihi. Na ma ya yutayang. Malini bhogi sihi. 2 naganas, magana and 2 yaganas joined together with the word break after 8 and 7 syllables. That is Malini. Na, that means 2 naganas are there. Magana is there. Ya, yagan is there. Ya, again another yagan is there. Yuta, which is together with these groups. Ayang, that verse is called as Malini. The name is Malini, and there will be word breaks by Bhogi Sihi. Bhoga. Bhoga is another word for snakes. So there is not mentioning why snakes, like there are 8 types of snakes or anything like that. So there should be 8 types of snake somewhere. So because of that, bhoga refers to number 8. Bhogi refers to number 8. Bhogi stands for number 8. And then isi is another word for muni, right? Seers or sages. So there are 7 types of sages. So isi stands for number 7. Bhogi stands for number 8, and isi stands for number 7. So there are word breaks after 8 and after 7. So here in this verse also, word break is same as the previous verse. In the previous verse also, word break goes after first 8 syllables and then after next 7 syllables. Here also word break is same, but the group order is completely different. So yeah, if we check this for the groups, na ma is the first nagana, ya yu is the second yagana, and then tha yang ma is the magana, li ni bho is the first yagana, si he is the second yagana. So here it is short, but it is padantagaru, so we can consider it as long, and it becomes yagan. Otherwise this is jagan. But we can consider this as yagana because he is padantagaru. Example is taken from Dhathavansa. Charati dharani Pāļi Rāja Dhammesu tasmin Charati dharani pale raja dhamme sutasmi. Charati is nagana, dharani is second nagana, pale ra is magana, ja dhamme is yagana, sutasming is the other yagana. So after charati dharani pa le, here ends 8 syllables, so word break should be kept here. Charati dharani pa le, and then after next 7 syllables word break is there at the end of the line. Are there any questions? No questions, right? Then pabhaddaka verse. Bhavati naja bhaja ra sahita pabhaddakang. Bhavati naja bhaja ra sahita pabhaddakang. Pabhaddaka verse has nagana, jagana, bhagana, jagana together with the ragana. So there are no word breaks. Bhavati naja, nagana and jagana should be there. Bhaja, bhagana, jagana should be there. Ra sahita, and again there should be a ragana. It should have a ragana at the end. That verse pabhaddakang bhavati. That verse is pabhaddaka. So bhavati is the nagana, najabha is the jagana, jarasa is the bhagana, the hita pa is the jagana, bhaddakang is the ragana. No word breaks. Example is taken from Vuttodaya Tika. Jala chara gumba kilita subham mahodikang. So we don't have to stop in the middle because there are no word breaks. Jala cha is the first nagana, tra gumba is the jagana, kilita is the bhagana, subham ma is the subham ma is jagana, right? It is the next jagana, and hodikang is ragana. So that is the example for pabhaddaka, and here ends Atisakkari verses. Any questions? No questions. Then we are moving to next type of verses. It is Atti, next group of verses. Atti, that means 16 syllable verses. Atti is the generic name for 16 syllable verses. So the first verse of Atti Chanda is Vanini. Naja bhajara sada bhavati Vanini gayutta. Naja bhajara sada bhavati Vanini gayutta. Meaning is Vanini always has nagana, jagana, bhagana, jagana, and ragana together with a heavy syllable. Naja bhajara, nagana, jagana, bhagana, jagana, jagana, sada always bhavati becomes. So it is Vanini. Vani is the name. Gayutta, it should be with a heavy syllable at the end. So Najabha is the first nagana, Jarasa is jagana, Da Bhava is bhagana, and Tivani is again jagana, Nigayut is ragana, and Tha is the garu. Example from Vuttodaya Tika again. Sunisita Bana Panini Savasena Pulindo. Sunisita Bana Panini Savasena Pulindo. So Sunisi is nagana, Tabana is jagana, Panini is bhagana, Savase is yagana, right? Savase. Naja bhajara. Sunnisi nagana. Tabana is jagana. Naja. Panini is bhagana. Najabha. Then again jagana should be there. Savase is not Jagana. Then Ragana should be there. Nepulin.
But I think that they are refers second line and the third line.
Yeah, let's check it. Sarudhi is Nagana. Naja. Rapani is Jagana. Naja. Then Bhima is Bhagana. Tanoma is Jagana. Naja Bhaja. Hav Nam is Ragana. He is Garu. Yes, as Syallin mentioned, the second line fits with the rules, but the first line doesn't fit with the rules. So this is not exactly Vanini verse, but maybe if we check other lines also, there will be Vanini rules there. So because of that, this is given here as an example for Vanini. But however, first line doesn't fit with Vanini rules. Yes, are there any questions?
I think we can encounter this problem before, right, Bante? There is in one of the verses of theirs, the first line didn't fit with the rule.
Yes. This problem was there in other places also. So, but this line, however, we didn't meet in Vuttodaya. But if he takes this line or the rules of this line from a Sanskrit book and compose this verse, then this is still Upajati verse, because lines of different verses are mixed. So this is, we cannot like say that this is wrong, this verse is wrong. This verse can be Upajati. Yeah. Then we are moving to the Achatti 17 syllable verses. There is only one verse in 16 syllable verses, right? Only Vanini is there in 16 syllable verses. We are moving to 17 syllable verses. The first verse is Sikharini. Yama no so bhalga rasahara virama Sikharini. Yama no so bhalga rasahara virama Sikharini. Rough meaning is Sikharini has Yagana, Magara, Nagana, Sagana, Bhagana, a light syllable and a heavy syllable. The word break after 6 and 8 syllables. Yama, Yagana and Magana should be there. No, Nagana should be there. So, Sagana should be there. Bhalga, Bhagana, Lahu and Garu should be there. Those are the groups. Rasahara Virama. This is the term. This is the word showing the word break. So, Rasa is the Pāli word for taste, right? So there are 6 types of tastes, sweetness, bitterness, and so on. So because of that, rasa refers to number 6. Hara is a name for the Rudra in Sanskrit, a multiple manifestation of Shiva. So yeah, Hara is another word for God Shiva, right? So they are in that class of God Shiva, there are 11 gods as it is mentioned here. But how we learned in Myanmar tradition is that, as I can remember, there are 11. There are 11 types of the same god. Have you heard about that god?
11 same types of gods.
Like one god is there, but he changes himself into sometimes as he changes himself into turtle, and sometimes into a snake.
Is it from Pāļi literature?
No. It is in Hindu literature, Sanskrit literature. So, yeah. In Sri Lanka, we call him Vishnu.
Oh, Vishnu. I know. Vishnu, I know.
You know, right? So Vishnu has 10 what you call it, not types, 10 different lives, maybe 10 different lives in Sri Lanka, but here it is 11. So I don't have exact idea about this. However, it is as it mentioned in this book, Hara is another name for God Shiva, another name for God Shiva. If to say it exactly, Hara is another name for Ruddha. Hara and Ruddha are synonyms, and that Ruddha or Hara is a manifestation of God Shiva. So, however, that is a class of God, and in that class there are 11 gods. There are 11. So, because of that, Hara refers to number 11. Number 11. Viram is another word for word break. We met Yati and Virati, and here it is Viram. Viram is also a word for word break. So there should be word break after 6 and then after 11. 6 and 11 as 17, right? So let's check it. Yama no is Yagana. So bhalga is Magana, right? Rasaha is Nagana, Ravi Ra is Sagana, Ma Sikha is Bhagana, Ri is Lahu, Ni is Karu. And after 6 syllables, Yama, No, So, Bhalga, after 6 syllables, there is Yati. And again, after other 11 syllables, there is Yati at the end of the line. So, example from Vijitānandābhivaṃsa. Tato so bhupalo kumati jana sangsagga manayang. Tato so is yagana bhupalo magana kumati nagana. Jana sang is sagana saggama is bhagana. Na is lahu, yang is garu. Tato so bhupalo after 6 syllables. Here should be the word break, and then the next break is at the end of the line. Are there any questions?
Yes, Bante.
Yes.
My question regarding to the work break. For example, in the definition sentence, if we work break the second work break at the 11th syllable, so it means the meaning of the work not finished. Yes.
Meaning of the word not finished.
Mean the first one is after the sobagla, and the second one is after the virama. So the whole word is the virama. So the second word break is 11:1.
Okay.
So,
We have discussed about this before because
I
we
know
have.
clear, yes.
Okay. So when there are 2 word breaks in a verse, first one we have to start from the beginning, and let's say in this verse, let's take this verse as an example for that. So first word break should be there after 6 syllables, right? So we start from the beginning. Yama no so bhalga. Here is the 6th syllable, right? So here is the first word break. And another word break should be there after 11 syllables, right? So that second word break, we should start from here at the end, at the place of first word break. We should not start from the beginning, right? If we start from the beginning, then it will be at rasa hara vi, just as you said, it will be at vi, rasa hara vi. But that should not be done like that. Second word break should always be like the counting should be done starting from the place of first word break, not from the beginning of the verse, right? If there are, maybe let's say there are 3 word breaks in some verses, there are 3 word breaks. So you have to start the first word break from the beginning and the second word break from the first place of first word break, and third word break you have to start counting from the place of second word break. You don't have to start counting from the beginning, right? So when you count from here, from bhalga, when you start counting from here, then the word break is at the end of the line, not here at V, right? Word break is, yes, right? Clear?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, thank you, Bante.
Okay. Okay, let's go to the next verse. It is Harini. Rasa yogisito no more. Sorry. Rasa yogisito no so ra sla gyada harini tada. Rasa yogisito no so ra sla gyada harini tada. When there is nagana, sagana, magana, ragana, sagana, a light syllable and a heavy syllable, and a word break after 6, 4, and 7, then that is harini. So rasa yogisito is the word denoting word break. Let's check it at the end. No nagana should be there, so sagana should be there. Ra, magana and ragana should be there. Sla means sagana and lahu should be there. Gya, sorry, ga yada, ga means garu should be there. Yada, in which where, yada means sorry, when, yada means when these groups are there, when these groups together with lahu and garu are there, tada, at that time, yada tada, you see, yada, when these groups and syllables are there, tada, at that time, this word should be called as harini. Plus, there should be word breaks also. Those word breaks should be at rasa yogisito, rasa yoga isi. Rasa yoga isi. Rasa refers to number 6 because there are 6 types of tastes. Yuga refers to number 4 because there are 4 ages. And isi refers to number 7 because there are 7 seers or 7 sages. So 3 word breaks are there. First after 6, second after another 4, and third after another 7. So to check this verse, rasa yu is the nagana, gisito is the sagana, no som ra is the magana, no som ras, until this you can take, right? No som, no is the first syllable, som is the second syllable, ras is the third syllable. So that is the magana. Lag yada is the ragana. Harini is again sagana. Ta is lahu, da is garu. Word break should be there after 6, 4, and 7. So rasa yogi sito, here after 6 syllables word break is there, so you have to stop. No som rasla, after 4 syllables word break is here, you have to stop. Gyada harini tada, after 7 word break is at the end. So when you pronounce this, you can take this G to previous side, or you can recite this as it is. We have discussed about this matter in a previous discussion. So you can take this G to previous side, though, keep that as it is. So that is harini. Example from Mahapanama Patha. Nakha juti rajang chak kangope tapad varam bujang. Nakha ju is nagana, ti rajang is sagana, chak kango is magana, petapa is ragana, the varang is sagana, bu lahu jangaru. Nakha Jyoti Rajang. Nakha Jyoti Rajang. Here is the first word break. After Jang, because there are 6 syllables. Chakkango Pe. Here is the second word break, but it is difficult to stop there. However, word break is there according to the rule. And then at the end of the line. Are there any questions? No questions, right?
So Pāḷi,
Yes.
like the second word break, so after 4 syllables, but when we
Yes.
see in the verse, like you said, it's very difficult to stop in that, like after the be.
Yes.
So can we just ignore that and then we directly recite the whole in the
Like-
recitation?
The recitation means this example, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we can recite this as Nakha Jyoti Rajang Chakkango Pe Tapada Varam Bujang. We can recite, but I mean this is one word, right? Chakkanga Upeta. This is Upeta. It is samasa, and sandhi also has been done. So Chakkanga Upeta Chakkang becomes Chakkango Upeta. So if the word break is there after upeta, then that is at the end of a word, right? It is at the end of the verb, end of a word. So it can be separated when you recite. But when it is when the word break is there at the middle, it is not good to stop. It is not nice to stop at the middle of a word. That is what I told. So when you come, but we actually met so many examples for this to compose in like this. So it can be composed like this, but it is not good. I don't feel this as a good composition when word break cannot be, when stop cannot be done where word break is there. Right?
Yes, Pāḷi.
Okay. Then the next verse is Mandakanta. Mandakanta Mabhana Tataga Go Yugutvasakehi. Mandakanta Mabhana Tataga Go Yugutvasakehi. Can some of you recite that? It's very nice to recite. Yeah, any volunteer to recite?
Okay, I'll try, Bante.
Okay.
Mandakanta Mapanatataga Yo you would what sake.
Go Yugut.
Yeah, yo you
Oh,
would
so, no,
what
it is
sake.
go.
You would what sake.
Okay, very nice. Mandakanta Mabhana Tataga Go Yugutvasakehi. So to give a little advice here, like you can improve reciting for others, for all, I mean. In Sri Lankan recitation, when we recite, usually we try to pronounce every consonant. In Myanmar, I don't know about other Thai and other how they recite. In Myanmar, usually they do not recite the consonant sound, right? They have separate vowel sounds when there is a conjunct. They recite in a vowel sound. But in Sri Lanka, we recite every consonant sound. Every consonant sound. So here it is Mandakanta. Mandak. It's like English, Mandak. So sometimes it can be. So we try to pronounce, not try actually, we pronounce every consonant. So please practice in that way also, because that is like there is such a method of recitation. So, and it makes clear it makes clear. And like when someone listen reading Pāļi like that, it's very nice to listen. So in here, try to recite every letter. It's mandakanta, mandakanta. So you may not hear me reciting ka, this K sound, but I recite it. That means the reader puts a stop there, like not a stop, but there the time is taken to pronounce that letter, right? Mandakanta, mandakanta, mabhana tataga, go yugutvasakehi. So another thing is there in Sri Lankan recitation, there is a difference. Maybe you have noticed that. It is not important, but in Myanmar, I have there is not such a difference. In Sri Lanka, for your knowledge, you don't have to recite like this, but for your knowledge, I'm saying this. In Sri Lanka, we have two types of vowel a. We have two types of pronunciations of vowel a. One is a and one is a sound and a sound. Maybe you have already heard about this, a sound and a sound. So when I recite this, I recite as mabhana tataga. So you see ma is a sound, but na, mabha, you see, mabha, mabha. It is not mabha, mabha, it's mabha. So whenever a Sri Lankan monk or someone read Pāļi, you will notice this method of reading. So
Hi, Pāḷi.
yes.
So regarding that point, what I heard you recited that word is mabana ta ga. So why the word, the first ta you pronounce ta but not ta?
That is usually, actually I also don't have a big idea about this this way of pronouncing, but we all pronounce like that, we all read like that, but we don't have a exact knowledge about that. But how I have understood this, when you start a word, when you start reading a word, then the first letter is pronounced as a. First is the first vowel, if there is vowel a in that letter, sorry, in that in the first letter of the word, then we pronounce it as a, and then other letters are pronounced as a. So here you will ask, then this is one word, so how can that theory apply here? How that can apply here is, this is one word, but we read this as two, because like you see mabhana, I stopped there, and then tataga came to another word. So because of that stop here, that happened. But if someone read this as mabhana tataga, still it is correct. Still it is correct. Mabhana tataga, correct. So in the, like, I will give you another example in the Sinhala alphabet. In the Sinhala alphabet, Sri Lankan alphabet, you know, as in Pāļi, our alphabet is very same to Pāļi. So ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, right? Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. First class of consonants. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga. We have another letter at the end. We have six consonants in the first class. Ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, ga. Another letter is there. So when we read this, right, we start from ka, and second letter is pronounced as k, ka, k, not ka, ka, as in Myanmar and or in other traditions. Ka, k, G, Ka, G, right? So the first letter is read as A and the others as A. But some, actually myself also, put a stop after second letter Ka and start again from Ga. So it becomes Ka, Ga, G, Ka, Ga, G, right? So that is defined by how the reader, where the reader thinks that stop should be put. But in Sinhala, like when we pronounce Sinhala words, Sri Lankan, I mean Sinhala language, we all pronounce, pronounce in same way. But when we pronounce Pāli, there are some differences within us also. But what I want to emphasize is that there are two ways like this to pronounce A. So please notice that. Okay.
Yes, Pandya. So, but like in the verse, maybe sometimes it's very long, right? So, can we just chant the first one as a full sound, like a ma, and after all that we chant it's okay or not?
In one word, right? In one word.
No, I mean maybe like a one verse, not a word.
One verse, so you start from ma and all other letters as a.
Yeah.
No, according to that way of Sinhala pronunciation, you have to start from the beginning letter of a word. You know, you can read whole line like that. Every start begins with a sound if there is a vowel. A sound.
But in this example, could you please go to the verse example? Jina Vansa Deepa.
Okay.
Like here we have the Sappa Sampati Sarang, right?
Yes.
Can we see how would you like to recite this one?
Yes,
I don't
actually,
know
how you recite is very same. It's
I would recite.
Sampatti Sara. Sabba. You see, because we consider actually we don't have to consider Sabba is one word and Sampatti is another word, and they are combined, right? As a compound. So because Sabba is one word, we pronounce it as sub. Like this is sa, right? Sabba, not sabba. Sabba. But because Sampatti is another word, actually that is not the reason. This is some, right? M is there. So however, we start again from Sampatti. But here, ba is not a. Sabba, Sampatti Sarang. Okay. So here also in this this word also Marapura Siring. So you see how I pronounce ma and then ra, not ra. In Myanmar they will pronounce this as a Marapura Siring, right? Marapura Siring. But here it is Marapura Siring. First one is ma and then ra. In when we recite Namo Tassa also, you can observe that we pronounce it as Namo Tassa, not Namo Tassa. But others pronounce it as Tassa, right?
Yes, Pandya.
So I just mentioned it for your knowledge, for your extra knowledge. Okay, let's go to the next verse.
Oh, sorry, Pandya. I mean, this type of pronunciation is only happens for the vowel A. How about the other vowels?
Only vowel A. Only vowel A. Other vowels are same with others. Only vowel A, we have two types of pronunciations.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
Okay. Yeah, we didn't finish this verse. Mandakanta. Go yoga to us. Yeah. Mandakanta verse should have Mabhana, Tataga, Magana, Bhagana, Nagana, Tagana, and Garu. And again, Garu. Yeah, here ends. So these are the, These are the groups and syllables there should be. And then go yuguttasakehi. Yeah. Go, another heavy syllable. Go is another heavy syllable. So mabana tataga, go, magana bhagana nagana tagana garu, and go, another heavy syllable. And then comes word break. Yuguttasakehi, yuga utu asakehi. Yuga utu asakehi. Yuga refers to number 4 because there are 4 ages. Utu refers to number 6 because there are 6 seasons. Asa refers to number 7 because there are 7 horses. So there should be word breaks by 4, 6, and 7. So let's check it. Mandakan is magana, tha mabha is magana, na tata is nagana, right? Ga go you is tagana, gut vassa is another tagana, k is garu, he is garu. And word breaks are like this. Mandakanta, here at the end of 4 syllables there is word break. Mabhana tataga, at the end of 6 more syllables there is word break, and at the end of line there is word break. So example from Jinavansa Deepa. Mandakanta marapura siring sabba sampatti sarang. Mandakanta marapura siring sabba sampatti sarang. So Mandakan is magana, tha mara is bhagana, pura si is nagana, ring sabba is tagana, sampatti is another tagana, sa is garu, rang is garu. Word breaks are at 4, 6, and 7. Are there any questions?
Yes, Bante.
Yes.
So here in this verse, he says the word break are the yuvutrasakehi. And here, so Bante Anandajoti says that is the instrumental case, but it should be taken as the ablative case, right, Bante? Because if we look at the Harini verse, and we also have the word breaks in there, and the word is rasayugisito. So there we have the to suffix, and it's taken as the ablative case there.
Yes. Actually, in a previous verse, it was mentioned, you may remember that, it was mentioned by Bhante Ananda Jyoti that in the upcoming verses, there will be Bhuta Sankhya with instrumental case. In that case, you should consider that as word break. Can you remember in a previous verse we made that?
But then is that his own observation, or is it the the common agreements between all of the scholars? Because we can see it as the ablative case or the instrumental case, right?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
But you said, but in the previous verse, in the Harini, we have to there. It's not the instrumental case.
It's not instrumental case. Yeah. So yes, I haven't seen this observation done in Myanmar books. This is only an observation. This is an observation only done by Bhante Anand Jyoti. But maybe in Sanskrit we have to check Sanskrit. In Sanskrit also ablative and instrumental same, right? I cannot remember. Jaladhi. So yes, we can consider that. But what Bhante Anand Jyoti says is that having yati word break, having the term which denotes word break with ablative case is not usual. It is strange. He has mentioned like that in one verse, in the previous verse, but now we met it in another verse, Harini, as Dr. Ryan mentioned. And he considered that this like examples like Loikutvasakehi. We consider this as instrumental case. Yes, but we can consider as ablative case also. But will there be a big difference?
So Bante, if we consider it as the instrumental case, then I don't see why Bante Ananachoti he keep translated as the after.
Yeah. Translation cannot be done. Yeah, of course. Translation cannot be done by ablative meaning if this is instrumental case.
Right. So the other question is, Bante, so can we see the instrumental case as, if that verse is with the word breaks after? So in fact, there are two senses in there, two meanings in there. So the ablative case is still there. I mean, the instrumental is still there, which means the verse is with the word breaks. But where the word break is put, that is another matter. So should we understand it that way, Bante?
You mean instrumental case is correct? We can take it as instrumental case because the meaning can be taken as it is with word break, right?
Yes.
So then what is the question arise there? Because yuga, utu, assa, by those terms, the places are also defined, right?
Yes.
Yes. So the question is?
So the question is those are the samasa, the Dvanda samasa. So is that like a shortened form of a longer word saying that, it has to be after those syllables?
Yes. If we consider like that, if we consider this as a shortened version of a long statement, then that should be ablative meaning. Like after yuga, there is word break. After utu, there is word break. After assa, there is word break. But how another way that this can be considered is that yuga refers to the word break after 4 syllables. Utu refers to the word break after 6 syllables. I mean, the word itself refers to the word break, not only the number, right? Because this is not just these are not just terms with meanings. These are used for the purpose of showing word breaks, right?
Yes. So you mean the location should be included in that word, right, Bante?
Yes.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Bante.
Okay. Then we are going to move into the next verse. Actually, here ends 17 syllable verses from Mandakanta. So we are moving to Dhuti 18 syllable verse. I will try to finish Samavutti Nirdesa today because there are few more verses to finish. Dhuti 18 syllable verses. So the generic name is Dhuti, right? In Dhuti verses, the first verse is Kusumita Lata Vellita. Kusumita Lata Vellita. You see how I read? Kusumita is one word. So I read it as the, and Lata is another word. So I read it, because of that I started from La, not La. So if this were one word, then it will be Kusumita Lata, right? In our pronunciation. So Kusumita Lata Vellita. Moto no yo ya Kusumita Lata Vellita Kuttisihi. Moto no yo ya Kusumita Lata Vellita Kuttisihi. Kusumita Lata Vellita has Magana, Tagana, Nagana, and 3 yaganas with word breaks after 5, 6, and 7 syllables. So, Moto no yo ya, Magana, Tagana, Nagana, Yagana, and Yagana. 2 yaganas should be there. Ya in plural, so we should take 2 yaganas by this ya. That means there should be 3 yaganas, right? Yo, here also yagana is there. Ya is plural. So by that plural, we take 2 yaganas here. So there are 3 yaganas altogether. Kusumita Lata Vellita is the name. Kuttisihi. This should be separated as Akuttisihi. Akuttisihi. Kusumitalata Vellita Akuttisihi. So that is word break. Akka Uttu Isihi. Akka refers to number 5. Akka meaning is dice, and there are 5 faces of dice as it was mentioned. So another meaning that can be taken is that, as I have mentioned this before, Akka is another word for Indriya in Pāli. Akka and Indriya same synonyms. Yes. So there are 5 physical indriyas: Chakhu, Sota, Ghana, Juha, Kaya, or mental states: Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. So in that sense also we can take Akka as referring to 5. Utu, again seasons. Isi, again seers or sages. So Akka refers to 5, Utu refers to 6, and Isi refers to 7. Word breaks are there after 5, 6, and 7. So let's check it. Moto no is Magana, Yo Yaku is Tagana, Su Mita is Nagana, Lata Vel is Yagana, Lita Kut is another Yagana, Vi Si He is another Yagana. Word breaks are there after 5, 6. Kusumi, Lata, 6. Here's the word break. And at the end of line. From Namakara Pāli, there is a very nice verse as an example for Kusumita Lata Vellita. Kandambang Mule Parahita Karo Yo Munindo Nisinno Atherang Sighang Nayana Subhagang Akulan Nagijalang Dujjala Dhansang Munibhijahitang Patiherang Akasi Vandetang Sethang Paramaratijang Iddhidhamme Hupetang. In Pāuk, we recite this every day, right? So this is from Namakara Pāli. Kandambang is Magana, Mulepa is Bhagana. Mulepa is Tagana. Hita is Nagana, Karo, Yo is Yagana, Munindo is Yagana, Nisinno is another Yagana. So after Kandambang Mule, that means after 5 syllables, there is word break. Parahita Karo, here is another word break. Yo Munindo Nisinno, at the end, another word break. Are there any questions? No questions. Then we are moving to the.
So,
yes.
When we talk about like we use instrument case, or should be like ablative meaning or something like that. So if we check the Sanskrit, the Sanskrit it uses instrument case.
Sanskrit uses instrument case, right?
Sanskrit use the instrument case.
That can be the reason for Bhante's observation, right?
Yeah, but in Pāli, instrument and dative of the instrument and ablative, we say in the plural they all are the same, right? But in Sanskrit, right? Like a he, a b, right?
Yes.
So, but in the Sanskrit, instrument and ablative is a different case.
Different, yes.
Yeah, the ending is different, but in Pāli they are the same.
Same. Okay, thank you so much. Actually, I also was thinking about that. Maybe for the observation of Bhante, the reason can be Sanskrit version. So if that is if that is in instrumental in the Sanskrit verses, then we can consider this also as having instrumental ending. Yeah.
Yes, Pandit.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so only one verse is there in Dhuti verses, right? Kusumita Lata Vellita, only one verse, 18 syllable. Then we are moving to Ati Dhuti, 19 syllable verses. So Megha Vipujjita is the first verse of Ati Dhuti. Megha Vipujjita, Megha Vipujjita. Rasutvasehi Ma Nasara Ragaru Megha vipujjita sa. Rasutvasehi yama. This actually should be taken to this side, but it is very difficult to read if you take this y to this side, right? You see, rasutvasehi. It's difficult. So how they recited Myanmar is rasutvasehi yama yama. But when you analyze, you have to take this y to the previous side. You have to take this y to the previous side. But when you read, because it's difficult to read, you can read as yama, right? Rasutvasehi yama nasara ragaru megha vipujjita sa. Meaning is yagana, magana, nagana, sagana, two raganas and heavy syllables should be there with word breaks after. With word breaks after. You see how he translates? With for instrumental meaning, like instrumental meaning is given as with, but when you take meaning, again word after is used. That means ablative meaning. So to take the exact meaning, we have to consider it in the ablative sense, right? So word breaks are after 6, 6 and 7 syllables. That is mega vipujita. So rasutvasse is the instrumental case ending word to denote word breaks. Yama means yagana and magana is there. Nasara ragaru, nagana sagana ragana garu is there. That was sa. That was is called as mega vipujita. Word breaks are after rasa utu asehi. Rasa means taste, that means number 6. Utu means season, that means number 6 again. Asa means horse, that means number 7. So let's check it. Rasut was is ra. Sut was is yagana. Sehi ma is magana. Nasara is nagana. Ragaru is sagana. Megha vip is ragana. Pujjita is again ragana. Sa is garu. So word breaks are after 6. Rasut was sehi ma. After 6 word break is there, and again after 6 another word break, after 7 another word break. Example taken from Namakkara Pāḷi. Again, Munindakko Yueko Dayudayaruno Jnana Vittinna Bimbo Vinayappano Gang Kamala Katitang Dhammarangsi Varehi Subodhesi Suddhe Tibhava Kuhare Vyapitakkittinancha Tiloke Kachakkung Dukkama Sahanang Tang Mahesing Namami. So Munindakko, let's only check for word breaks because groups are there in this verse exactly. So Munindakko Yueko, here is the first word break after 6. Da, you, the, ya, ru, no. After 6, here's the second word break. And then at the end of the line, third word break. Are there any questions? No, right? So that is Mega Vipujita verse. Saddula Vikilita is the next verse. Akkasehi yadi. Akkasehi yadim saja sa tataga. Saddula Vikilitang. Akkasehi yadim sajasa tataga saddula vikiritam. In Myanmar version here it was not yadi, it was yati. Meaning is if there is magana, sagana, jagana, sagana, 2 taganas and a heavy syllable with the word break after 12 and 7 syllables, it is saddula vikirita. So akkasehi is the word break. Yadi, if there are magana, sagana, jagana, sagana, tagana, tagana, and garu, that verse is called as saddula vikirita. Saddula vikirita. Akkasehi, akka assa, right? Akka means sun. Akka is a synonym for sun, and there are 12 zodiacal signs of sun. So because of that, sun refers to number 12. Akka refers to number 12. Asa refers to again number 7. So after 12 and then after 7, word break should be there. Let's check it. Akkase is magana. He yadi. He yadi seems to be nagana, but here it is a conjunct, right? So he yadim. He yadim. It is sagana. Sajasa is jagana. Tataga is sagana. Sadula is again tagana. Oh, tataga is sagana, right? Tataga is sagana. Sadula is tagana. Vikili is again tagana. And then tang is garu. So after 12 syllables, here is the first word break. And the second word break is after 7 syllables. That means at the end of the line. So example from Abhidhammavatara. Saddha buddhi karang tathagata mate sammoha vidhangsanang. So let's check it. Saddha buddh is magana, dikarang is sagana, tathaga is jagana, tamate again sagana, sammoha tagana, vidhangsa tagana, nang is garu. Word breaks are saddha buddhikarang tathagata mate. Here is the 12 syllables. So first word break is here. Saddha buddhikarang tathagata mate. Then sammoha vidhangsanang. Second word break at the end of the line. Are there any questions?
Yes, Bante. So you said earlier that in the Myanmar book, there is a word yati instead of yadi, Bante?
Yes, yes.
So yati
It was
in
yati.
the sense of word break.
Yes, yes.
Then I don't understand. So first thing is it is singular. And then the other one is it has nothing to do with the word akasehi.
That means
So does that mean that if we look at that, the version in Myanmar version, then we should take the ehi as the ablative sense then?
yes, yes. In this place, it should be ablative. Yeah, of course. This place, it should be ablative, not instrumental.
Yeah, and then also yati is singular. This is very strange. Why is it in singular?
This can be done. Like there is a grammatical concept called jatyapek, right? Jati apek. You can use singular. We can keep something in singular by considering it its type. So when you say yati hoti, yati is there. That means many word breaks can be there, but we consider them all as like they all are included in one type, which is called as word break. So we can say there is word break after 5, 6, and 7. Or we can say there are word breaks after 5, 6, and 7. So both ways are correct, right? So in Pāļi also this technique is in another places also in Pāļi canon and commentaries also. I cannot remember exact example. Like let's say jano hoti, jana. We consider that if I say jano hoti, you will translate it as people are there. People are there, right? But jana, the word jana exactly has the meaning of man, or yes, man, person. It doesn't mean people. But that word is used in many places to refer to many people. So that is called as jatyapekha. Jati apekha. In our mind we consider all the people or all all the things that included in one type as one,
I see.
right?
Okay, thank
So-
you, Bante. Yeah.
Okay.
So Bande, but like
Yes.
the Myanmar translation, they use yati do is a plural form, right?
Yatito.
Yeah, yati do nin. 意思它是设了龙庙，空了龙庙多yati do nin.
Okay.
Yeah, so that means the
Uh,
yati is they take as a plural form.
in that translation, right, which you referred to.
Yes, yes.
But it seems to me like wrong, because the reason is that it is translated as it has translated considering I'm not saying that all the things in that book are wrong, but that translation doesn't make sense, because it has considered this akkasehi as the adjective for yati, right? Senhalo miao, kunalo miao do, yati do di. That means this is
No, yati do nin. Nin is with instrument case.
dotne.
Yeah. But that
Okay.
yati is a plural form yati do.
Yati do. Oh, okay, meaning is plural, but still there is another problem then, because if you translate yati as in the instrumental meaning, still here there is no instrumental case, right?
Yes.
There is no instrumental case, so still a problem is there.
Yeah, I think maybe
Mm.
just the meaning translation is not the grammatical translation. Bante. Yeah.
Yes, that can yeah, that can be the reason. In some places not the grammatical translation is given. In Bante's translation also, it is the rough meaning, right?
Yeah.
It is to make us understand the rough meaning of the verse. So sometimes grammatical translation is not there in the meaning. Okay, let's move to the next verse. That is Saddula Vikkilita, right? We finished it. And we are going to 20 syllable verses. First verse is Khati. Khati. Sorry, 20 syllable verses. The generic name is Khati. Generic name is Khati. So the first verse, actually only one verse is there, as I remember, in the 20 syllable verses. Yeah. Only one verse is there, that is Vutta. So Vutta Midisang tu Namato Raja 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 Garu Lahu Cha. No word breaks. 20 syllables, but no word breaks. You see? Vutta Midisang tu Namato Raja 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 Garu Lahu Cha. But Vutta is named from being like this. Ragana Jagana Ragana Jagana Ragana Jagana. Every syllable and light syllable. So Vutta Midisang tu. Tu is translated here as but that can be considered as meaningless also. Vuttang idisang, Vutta Midisang. Idisang, a verse which is seen like this is called as Vuttang, Vutta verse. Vutta is the name. Namato by name, it is called by name as Vuttang. The conditions are Raja, Ragana Jagana Raja, again Ragana Jagana Raja, again Ragana Jagana, then Garu, heavy syllable, and Lahu, light syllable. One heavy syllable and one light syllable. It is in plural to protect the meter. Not two heavy syllables and two light syllables, but one heavy syllable and one light syllable. So that is it. Vutta mi is Ragana. This Sangtu is Jagana. Namato Ragana. Rajara is Jagana. Jaraja is Ragana. Garula is again Jagana. Who is Garu? Cha is Lahu. So no word breaks. Example from Namakkara Pāļi. Very nice verse. Yojino aneka jatiyang saputtadara manga jivitampi. Bodhi pemato alagga manaso adasi jeva atthikassa. Dana paraming tato parang apuri sila paramadi kampi ta samidhi yopayata maggatang tameka deepakang namami. Very nice verse. Yo jino is ragana, aneka is jagana, jatiyang ragana, saputta jagana, dara mang is again ragana, gajivi is jagana, tangarupi lahu. No word breaks. Are there any questions? No questions, right? Then we are moving to 21 syllable verses. 21 syllable verses. Generic name is Pakati, and only one verse is there in Vuttodaya. Only one verse is there. That is Saddhara. This Saddhara verse is also one of famous verses. One of famous verses. I have seen this Saddhara verse in many places. Even in Subodha Lankar, one verse was there in Saddhara. Very long but famous. Yeah. Mrabhna yo yotra ye natti muni yati yuta saddhara kittitayang. Mrabhna yo yotra ye natti muni yati yuta saddhara kittitayang. So meaning is Magana, Ragana, Bhagana, Nagana with the triad of Yaganas together with 3 word breaks after every 7 syllables, that is proclaimed to be Saddhara. Mra Magana Ragana is there, Bhna Bhagana and Nagana is there, Yo Yagana is there, Yo it is as Bhante Ananjoti translated, Yo Trayena. Traya means triad, 3, right? Traya. Actually, the Pāli word is Thaya, not Traya, but he has considered this as Thaya, as same as Thaya. Thayo means 3, right? Thayo means 3. So Thayo means not Thayo. Sorry, I'm sorry, not Thayo. Thaya means 3, like the collection of 3. Tinna Samuho Thayang, right? Tinna Samuho Thayang. So Thaya means 3. So Thayeno Trayena is also 3. So Yo Trayena, he considered this as 3 yaganas. 3 yaganas. Right? 3 yaganas. Then a problem will arise. I will show that to you. Trayena. Timuni Yatiuta, that is the word break. Timuni. Muni means 7. Timuni means 3 7. 3 7. 3 7. Yati. 3 7 yati is there. That means there are 3 7 yatis. 1 yati from 7 syllables, and again another yati from another 7 syllables, other 7 syllables, and again another yati from other 7 syllables. So there are 21 syllables, right? 7 7 7. 3 yati. 3 yatis are there. Saddhara kittita ayang. This verse is kittita, called or proclaimed or said as Saddhara. So the problem here arises if you take meaning as Yo Trayana is that there will be Yo Traya, there will be 3 yaganas here, and here Yo is again there. Then there will be 4 yaganas, right? Yo Yagana, Trayena, Triad. That means there will be 4 yaganas. 4 yaganas. According to this translation and explanation, but in this verse there are only 3 yaganas, not 4. So this I do not like how it is translated here. So in Nisaya, how this was translated, that is like this: Mravna yo tra. This is atra in this verse, or in this chanda. Atra in this meter. Atra here, yena with another yagana. So atra and yena, this should be considered as 2 words. Atra and yena. Yo yagana is there with another yagana. Then there will be 3 yaganas. Atra in this verse or in this meter. So let's check. Brab na yo is magana. Yo tra ye is ragana. Nat Timu is Bhagana, Ni Yati is Nagana, Yuta Sad is Yagana, Dhara Kit is another yagana. Tita Yang is another yagana. So Timuni 777, right? Ram Na Yo Yo Ra Ye Nat. Here is the first word break. So it is like Mrab Na Yo Yo Tra Ye Nat. Timuni Yati Uta Sadhara Kittita Yang. So here it can, there is a conjunct, but still it can be separated because they are two words. Jena and Timuni are two words. There is a conjunct, but still it can be separated when you recite. Ram na yo yotra yenat Timuni yati yuta sadhara kittita yang, like that. So example is from Vijitānandābhivaṃsa. Gantva so dhamma raja vanang. Gantva so dhamma raja, sorry. Gantva so dhamma raja vanamisi patanang sanyatanang niketang pallang kasming nisinno tahim avichalitat thana sampaditam hi. So let's only check the first line. Gantva so is magana, dhamma ra is ragana, java nang is again ragana. Sorry. Javana, right? Javana is bhagana. Javana is bhagana. Misi pa is nagana. Nang san is yagana. Nya ta nang is again yagana. Nike tang is again yagana. So word breaks are there after 7, 7 and 7. So this is example for Sadhara from Vijitānandābhivaṃsa. Are there any questions? No questions, right? So there is a nice verse in Vuttodaya from Sadhara. I wanted to show it to you, but now there is no time. Sorry, not Vuttodaya. I'm sorry. From Subodhalankara. There is a verse in the 5th chapter of Subodhalankara by Sadhara verse. And at the end of Namakkara Pāḷi also, you can please, if you have time, please check it. There is a very nice verse at the end or close to the end of Namakkara Pāḷi. It's Buddho Tighoso Atti Dullabhataro Ka Katha Buddha Bhavo Loke Tasma Vibhavi Vividha Hita Sukhang Sadhavo Pattayanta. That verse is there in Namakkara Pāḷi. That is also Sadhara verse. So last verse. Akati. Akati is the generic name. It is the name of the group of verses. 22 syllable verses. Only one verse is there in Vuttodaya. Bhaddaka. Bra nara na rana thacha garud dasakka viramang hi bhaddaka midang. Bra rana thacha garud dasakka viramang hi bhaddaka midang. Bhagana ragana nagana. And then heavy syllable with word breaks after 10 and 12. That is called as Bhaddaka. So Bhaddaka is the Bhaddakang idang. This verse is called as Bhaddaka. Indeed, where there is Bhagana ragana bra, nagana ragana, atha. After that, garu is there. Then that is called as Bhaddaka. Word break should be dasakka viramang. This is actually Bahubhi Samad, that's why it is in nominative case. Dasakka viramang. Virama is Virama. It is shortened in here, Virama. Virama is Virama. That means Yati. So word break. Dasa means 10, akka means 12, because akka is another word for sun, and zodiacal signs. There are 12 zodiacal signs. So word break should be after 10 and 12. So let's check. Bhra is bhagana. Na is ragana. Tha cha ga is nagana. Rud dasak is ragana. Again, Rud dasak. Kavira is nagana. Manghi bhad is again ragana. The ka mi is nagana. Dang is garu. So word break should be at the end of 10 syllable. Bra na ra na ra na tha cha ga rud. That is a word syllable after here garu. Garu. Bra na rana rana tha cha ga rud. Dasakka viramang hi bhaddaka midang. So in the Vuttodaya text, it was garu, not garud. There was not conjunct here. It was garu, garu. Yeah, example is not there. Example is not there. So here is the 22 syllable verses. Yeah. So there are only 20. There are only up to 22 syllable verses in the Samavutti chapter of Vuttodaya, but there can be up to 26 syllables, right? So let's read this. The regular Samavutta meters continue up to meters of 26 syllables, right? Pada mekakkara rabbha yava chabbisa takkara. In the introductory chapter, we learned that meters can be there beginning from 1 syllable verses and 26 syllable verses. Meters of 1 syllables, meters of 1 syllable, and meters of 20 up to meters of 26 syllables. But in Vuttodaya, we started from 6 and ended at 22. So 23, 4, 5, and 6 are not shown in Vuttodaya, but there can be such verses. There are such verses. And beginning from 27, beginning from Surah 27, yeah, let's read. And then there is a special class of meters which can be extended theoretically up to 999 syllables. Beginning from 22 and 27 syllable line verses and up to 999 syllables, there can be meters. And as it was mentioned in another place, all of them are called as Dandaka verses. In the introductory chapter, we met it. Dandaka Chandavuttyadi, right? Dandaka Chandavuttyadi. Dandaka meters starting from Chandavutti verses. Chandavutti verses. So all of them can be called as Dandaka verses. Dandaka verses. They are not even touched in Vuttodaya, and as it is mentioned here, historically, these longer meters, however, are not in use, and their description has been omitted by Venerable Sangharakkhita. So the generic names, regarding the generic names, we started from Gayatri and ended at Akati. So for your extra knowledge, 23 syllable verses, the generic name of 23 syllable verses is Vikati, and 24 Sankati, 25 Atikati, and 26 Ukkati. Those are the generic names for the remaining groups of meters, groups of verses. Vikati, Sankati, Atikati, Ukkati. Vikati, Sankati, Atikati, Ukkati. And in the beginning also, we started from Gayatri, but if you start from the very beginning, from the 1 syllable verses with 1 syllable lines, that is called as Utta. Utta, and 2-syllable verses are called as Achutta. 3-syllable verses Majja. 4-syllable verses Patittha. 5-syllable verses Supatittha. So Utta, Achutta, Majja, Patittha, Supatittha. Those are the generic names for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which had been omitted in Vuttodaya. So this is the end of Samavutti Niddesa Tatiya Paricheda, the 3rd chapter, which is called as Samavutti Niddesa. So in Vannavutti we finished 1 chapter. We 2 chapters are remaining, 4th and 5th chapter. They are also included in Vannavutti. Yes. Are there any questions?
Yeah, hi Bante. So
Yes.
you mentioned all of the generic
Generic
names,
names.
yeah, generic names for the other types of verses. But so where are they mentioned, Bante? Because I remember one time you said that for Pāli prosody there is only one book, which is Vuttodaya.
Yes. No, I mean the other names are from Sanskrit. Rudraratnakara. Yes.
I see.
Because these names are also taken from Sanskrit, right? Akati and all, Gayatri and all are taken from Sanskrit. So in Sanskrit there are names for them.
I see. Okay, and the other question is about the word Pattaka, Bante. So here you said in the Myanmar text, then we instead of the conjunct consonant Garu das Sakka Viramang, then it is says Garu, right, Bante?
Yes.
But then Garu is plural, right, Bante?
Yes.
But then here there is only one Garu, Bante.
Yes, of course. So this is like in the previous verse. In the previous verse also
because of the meter. I see.
Because of the meter. Here also because of the meter. Only one Garu is there, but because of the meter, it is lengthened. Garu.
See. Okay, thank you.
So
yeah.
So if in that, if you think in that way, this version is better, right? Garu Dasak Viramang.
Yeah.
So Garu and Dasak Viramang, it is not lengthened, but instead D has been inserted and it becomes heavy syllable.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any more questions? No questions. Then let's wind up the class by reciting Buddha Sasanam Chirang Titthatu. Buddha Sasanam Chirang Titthatu. Buddha Sasanam Chirang Titthatu. Buddha Sasanam Chirang Titthatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you so much, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bante.
Thank you.